Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. Today we're going to be talking about the Ryobi door hinge installation kit. If you've ever installed a blank door and you've had to cut out the hinge, you've had to cut out the door handle, the latch, you know that the hinge can be a pain in the rear end. Something that made it easier that I used for a while, this is a punch. So what you do is you stick this on the end of the door and it has sharp edges. You hit it with a hammer and then you can come behind it with a chisel, and that tries to help guide the chisel to be level so that your hinge sits level and flat inside of the actual mortised hinge slot that you put in. But for me, I'm not that good at it and I always struggled with it, so I'd always have kind of cattywampus hinges and the doors didn't really close right. I've been lucky a few times but never really worked out right. So I started taking my router and I would just route out, I would trace out a hinge and I would just route out, setting it to the depth of the hinge thickness, and that worked okay if you didn't hit a certain grain or a knot in the wood, and then it would make your bit go all over the place. I was at Home Depot the other day and I found this kit, and literally it's a router template. So you use this, you stick it on the end of your door, so you'll measure out where you need your hinges to be. You'll put this over the area of exactly where your hinge will go. You take your router, you plunge it, you route it out, and you're good to go from that point. The part number for this is A99HT3. A99HT3. So the cool thing about this is that it fits not only one. So this is, you have to buy a bunch of these because this is only one size. It's a small hinge. Whereas this actually adjusts. You can take this and it'll move it up and down. You can get up to, I believe, a 5-inch hinge. Yes, you can go from a 3-inch hinge to a 5-inch hinge. You can do a square hinge, as you can see here, or you can do a rounded hinge that's here. And these little round pieces, they actually come off, so you can store them, take them off, store them, and it's not going to be a problem. Another cool thing about it is you can see in here that it actually just clamps to the door, and it has rubber feet inside that uses friction in order for it to stay in place. You don't have to drill extra holes in the door itself to mount this. This does come with a router bit in order for you to do the job, so you don't have to buy that. It also comes with a self-centering drill bit as well that you can use after you've routed out the hinge. You can put your hinge on and center drill the holes for your screws to go into. So the plan for this is actually test it out today. I'm going to test it out on two different types of hinges. Here, this is a 3.5-inch hinge, and it's a square hinge. This is also a square hinge, but this is a 3-inch hinge, and this is off of a 100-year-old door, and this is brand new. I just bought it at Home Depot. So let's see how these actually do, and maybe this is the tool for you. So let's pull it in a little closer, go over the tool, let's install a couple. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is let's make sure we have this routing template to the right size of your hinge. All right, so we can see, and I'm just going to throw it in there. This is the right size. This is a square, so what we want to do is let's just pop this out here, and the round just slides right out, albeit it's pretty tight, so we'll set this aside. Don't lose it. Do not lose it. And we can pop this right back in here. Yep. So I'll set this right here on the end. We'll tighten it up. Make sure you route on the right side of the door. The wedge side of the door will need to be open because that's the side that your hinge will need to actually fold out onto. All right, so it's on there securely. Okay, so the next step is we just pulled our router hinge bit out here. And we actually need to check the depth of the hinge. So this is not a very thick hinge. However, what we want to do, it actually has a cutout for that too. You'll want to see here, and it actually says thin hinge or thick hinge. 4.5 to 5 inches or 3 to 4 inches. So just for the sake of argument, what I'll do is, since this is a small hinge, we'll set it here. I'm going to get my router ready right here, and first you want to put it in loose to make sure it can actually adjust, and then make sure this is flat. So I'm just going to set this up. Hopefully you can still see that okay. Okay, so all we need to do now is we'll set the router down inside and we'll just route it out. Let me grab my safety glasses. Safety glasses grabbed. Oh, there we go. All right, first I'm going to start it off of the hinge, and then we'll just work our way into it. All right, it looks clean, so let's check it out here. So it's down in there. Oh, it fits nice. It's nice and tight. All right, so it fits. Oh, it's smooth. Yeah, well, hey, that worked out pretty good. This is a thick hinge. That worked out pretty nicely. It's smooth, it's down in there, it's flat, and it's level. Let's go ahead and try out the center punch, center drill. Okay, so in order to test out the center drill, it is on board located, so it's right here. So we'll just pop that out. And I'm going to use my P238 on setting number 2 to use it. This is a really nice bit too, because as you press down inside, it'll center it first, and then as you go down, you'll be able to depress the sleeve. Okay. Wow, that's impressive. It's flat, it's level. All right, let's do one more. Done. Wow, it's level. It feels good. That's impressive. That is really impressive, how fast that was. And just think about how much time you're going to save, especially if you're a carpenter. Well, maybe not a carpenter, but a homeowner, and you're putting a door blank in. This is the jam, you know? This thing's awesome. I hope you're as impressed as I am with this router template. I got it at Home Depot for I think around $30, so it was a really great deal, especially with the amount of time that you're going to save installing hinges on a blank door. This would have taken me probably 3 times as long as what we just did here, especially with routing it out, making sure it was level. You know, doing all of those small details really do take time. So I hope that this has made your decision, if you're thinking about or contemplating about purchasing this tool, just a little bit easier. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everybody.